Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback. On 1st and 10, Copeland. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, and you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And a great spot to start this drive from here. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season opener opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Now here's the Panthers special teams unit to try a field goal for 3. From the left hash, this from 39. And his kick here is good. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking it over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
This will be taken in at the 1. Uses the stiff arm. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Here we go now.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Green 39.
From the gun, Copeland over the middle, complete. That's Simmons. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Well, maybe that'll help him settle back into a groove after the interception on the first drive here, picking up the first to start drive number 2.
And it is just starting over, isn't it? Sometimes it's just how you have to do it. You have to erase things from your mind. Don't worry about what happened before, because over the course of a game, the good players, things turn out pretty well for them, and that's what he's trying to do here.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And ready now for 2nd and 9. Now they'll run on the draw. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Now, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. To throw again. Levy. And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be run over, hit hard as he'll be marked down. The numbers for him from a week ago, 16 carries, 52 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Looking to throw. Levy. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 9 catches, 62 yards.
And that was a nice job there pulling that one in. Now, this is an offense that will certainly spread the ball around a bit, and this is a guy that defenses had better focus on.
Going to give this time to the tailback. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into...
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively, not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Operating from the gun. Levy. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. That will get our first update of the afternoon for the Meadowlands. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for the Saints. 42 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Back to throw. Copeland. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. And the big meat on the D-line, we'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Copeland. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And now the offense operates in the red zone.
Let's go. 3-19.
On 3rd down, it's Edwards. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Out now is the field goal unit for New Orleans. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Throwing to start the drive. Levy. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
On third down, Levy. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So it'll be first down here after the run. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Play action. Copeland. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. A handoff as they run the counter play. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Looking to throw. Copeland. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
somewhere
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
So after that stop, you know the 3rd down is not a gimme if you're on the offensive team. So what are you going to do? Run it again? Or maybe you go play action and try and throw the ball and pick up the necessary yardage.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the 2 defensive tackles in a 4-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On first down, Levy, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Let's go. 3-19.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
From the gun, Levy. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Let's go. Green 39.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
The best play callers in any league know how to break their tendencies. They study themselves, they self-scout, and they realize most of the time you don't call a draw play on 1st and 10. So every so often you insert that play just to make the defense think, even if it's not successful.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now they try the right side here. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, we'll send you to Orlando and Larry Ridley as he'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. But no touchdowns. These guys need to give Larry some touchdowns to talk about.
Things are too easy for him right now back in the studio. Come on, guys. Help the man out. Give him something to talk about.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Operating from the gun. Copeland. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy could be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Throwing on first down, Copeland. And out of bounds right around the 20. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Here we go.
To throw on second down, Copeland. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
From the gun on third down, Copeland. And this is going to be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And his kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading field goals here in the opening half. No breakthrough yet on the touchdown front. We've got a 6-3 game.
And really, I like what I've seen from both of these defenses thus far. Both have been a little more aggressive than I expected. And I think that's reflected in what we see on the scoreboard, which is no touchdowns to this point.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. A second quarter score from down in Houston, and that is now a 2-touchdown lead for the Browns in that game. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. On 1st and 10, Levy. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw on second down. Levy. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. From the gun on third down, Levy. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here we go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, let's do this. Here's the first half highlights. Third down from the 32. Defense is going to come away with the sack. This will go for a loss of 8. Now 2nd and 8. Defense will win the battle and get the sack. This ends up as a loss of 9. Now midway through the second. Here we'll get a fumble after the completion. Just about out of time in the first half. Gallette's got the sack here. This will go for a loss of 7. So that's it for us. We'll go back now to New Orleans for the start of the second half.
Okay, Larry, thank you. No touchdowns in our first half. What will we see in half number 2? Time to find out. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Around the NFL, they're into the second quarter in the Meadowlands. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with him.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Despite some fast footwork, he's still wrangled down shy of the 15. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's the Panthers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And taken right at the 35. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints add on to their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And his kick is good. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
On 1st down, Levy. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Levy, and he fires one incomplete. And on 2nd and 10 now. Throwing again. Levy. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Here's the Panthers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. They're on to the 2nd half now down in Miami. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Throwing on first down. Copeland. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Simmons. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. On 1st and 10, Copeland. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. To throw again. Copeland. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
The Saints on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun, Copeland. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Yeah, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense, can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Here we go. 3-19.
To throw on second down. Levy. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Let's go. 3-19.
From the gun, Levy. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And some room to maneuver. Takes it the whole way, but he stopped at the 4-yard line.
All praises for a tremendous return, but how about the guys that never gave up on the play, refused to let him get into the end zone, and tracked him down before he got there and made the tackle? A lot of pride exhibited by guys on special teams.
Let's go.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And the lead will grow by 1 more. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And, oh, a good hit there and knocked down hard. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. 10 yards still left on second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that a defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's two guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
On first down, Levy finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Throwing on first down, Levy. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw on second down. Levy. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
On first and 10, Levy. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Hurry up, here we go! 319!
To throw on second down, Levy. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
The Panthers on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 16.
Here we go!
Operating from the gun. Levy. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cole. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today.
from the left hash mark. This a 43-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On first down, Copeland. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Going to give this time to the tailback. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. From the gun, Copeland. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Looking to throw on second down. Copeland. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 24. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. Throwing on first down. Levy, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the gun on third down, Levy. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. A Defensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Green 39! Green 39!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
It's in the 4th quarter down in Miami. It's the Dolphins that have taken the late lead in that one. If they can hold on to that lead to the end, it would up their win total to 7. Back to throw. Levy, throw left side, complete. That's Cole. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. 2nd down now after the pass completion. Operating from the gun, Levy. And he's taken down here by the Saints.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, Levy. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Operating from the gun, Levy. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Saints will have the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. On 3rd down, it's Harvey. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Saints, it's a nice win to finish off what's been an ugly first half as they move to 2-6. And they'll have another home date next week as the Cincinnati Bengals come to town. Meanwhile, for Carolina, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.